Ashish, Sip Saroja, Sip Samatma, Sip Premchandji, Sip Deepatma, Sip Ahem, Sip Krishna, Sip Sukeshni, Sip Lakshmi, Sip Gigi, Sip Bliko, Sip Siva, Sip Tina, Sip Sonu, Sip Sarla, Sip Sagai, Sip Anil, Sip Chidanand, Sip Girish Ananda, Sip Krisha, Sip Ru Mataji, Sip Parvatiyama, Sip Sandeep, Sip Atmatray, Sip Renu Vaswani, Sip Laveen, Sip Lawrence, Sip Prakash, Sip Sachin, Sip Bliss, and the rest of you who are joining this call on a Friday evening. I welcome you to this call, and the topic of today's discussion is 30 minutes my talk, and then over to you. How to eliminate the 7 monsters of life: anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, and selfishness. We are trying to eliminate 7 monsters from our life. How are we going to be able to eliminate these 7 monsters? My dear friends, let us start. Let us understand. We all struggle with these monsters. It's very common for all of us to struggle with these monsters because they are very natural to be in our life. Who doesn't get angry? Who doesn't get selfish? It's natural. But what is causing these 7 monsters? What is destroying our life? This is the discussion today. The first monster, getting straight on because I have limited time. The first monster in our life is called anger. Sometimes we have to use our temper. And this is a dangerous thing because sometimes, you have no choice. Sometimes you lose your temper and sometimes you have to use your temper. But how to get rid of this monster called anger? Because anger, it burns us. Anger burns us. I once wrote a book along with my Guruji some time back. It was called The Terror Within. The book is not it's not under the AiR banner, but I remember writing a book with him. Anger is like carrying burning charcoal. We are carrying burning charcoal in our hand. We want to throw it on somebody. I'll kill you. But first you already burn your hand. So don't burn your happiness. If you burn your happiness, then it is a sign that your anger is in command. The monster called anger is destroying you. The second monster is called hate. Hate, when you let hate enter your gate, then you are spitting poison on others. But you're not realizing that the poison that you're spitting is destroying your own tongue. So when you are hate, when that hate is there inside you, that hate is on your tongue and it's poison, that you're spitting this poison out, but you don't even realize that you hate. Why should you hate anybody? You hate. What is the cause of this hate? This destroying our own peace. It's killing our own peace. And it's good to realize this. When you hate with your tongue, the tongue is getting poisoned. So get rid of hate. This is monster number 2. Monster number 3, revenge. So we take revenge. What is the revenge we are taking? Somebody did something bad to us, fine. Instead of understanding its karma or accepting it, we take revenge. Means we are creating again new karma, bad karma. Why are we taking this revenge? No, because they are misbehaving. Oh, they are misbehaving. Because they are misbehaving, why should you create bad karma? Why should you again suffer and suffer and suffer? So, my dear friends, first anger, second hate, third revenge. Not only you will suffer now, you will suffer now and you will suffer again and again. The fourth monster of our life is jealousy. We become jealous of others without realizing that they are none other than the manifestation of SIP. We don't realize the people whom we are getting jealous, they're all SIP. Therefore, instantly, jealousy, immediately it is making us fall down. Our destiny sinks. Think about it. Can jealousy have any positive outcome? Impossible. Jealousy can only create negative outcome, not a positive outcome. The fifth monster of our life is called pride. We have pride. We think we are better than others. Pride creates many problems. Sometimes it comes disguised. Oh, I have self-respect. I have a lot of self-respect. I have respect for myself. It's called self-esteem. I mean, it's a very sad. It's a very sad story. And I think in the Bhagavad Gita, there's this story of Karna and Arjuna. I don't know how many of you heard this story. How one day Arjuna told Krishna, all the time Arjuna told Krishna, you are always biased towards Karna. All the time you feel Karna is better, Karna is better. So Krishna smiled. Krishna told Arjuna, okay, one day I'll explain to you. So next day he took Arjuna and told Arjuna, this is a mountain of gold. I want you to distribute it to people. So Arjuna came with his valor and he started breaking the mountain of gold and giving people. He found it to be impossible. After one day, he had not even done 0.25%. So then he told, Sab gaon walo ke leke, bring all the villagers. And he brought all the villagers and bring all your friends. And he was breaking the golden mountain, giving, breaking the golden mountain, giving, breaking the. At the end of a week, he had not done even 2%. So he told Krishna, this is impossible. You give me a golden mountain. Krishna told him, come, let me take you and show you what Karna is doing. So Arjuna was already upset. When he went there, Karna also had the same golden mountain. But Karna was talking to the villagers and telling the villagers, Namaste, this is a golden mountain. It doesn't belong to me. It is for all of you. Please divide it amongst yourself. Don't fight. Break it into pieces. Keep breaking into pieces and take whatever you want. Goodbye. Bye-bye. And he walked out. Can you believe? This was the difference between Arjuna and Karan as per Krishna. He said Arjuna did not have pride. Karan did not have pride. Arjuna said, you had pride. You are thinking, I am giving the gold. It was my gold. I gave you. But you made it look like it was your gold and you are breaking and you are giving. The problem, you will come to know, what is the problem with all these? What is the cause of all these monsters? Monster number 6, greed. We all have choice to live either with need or greed. But we want more and more. I recently had a podcast with one Swamiji. I think some of you saw. And the Swami said, no need of chopping with need. Greed is good. Have greed, have greed. I don't subscribe to greed being good. Because greedy people will never be happy. Greedy people will always be unhappy. What did Buddha say? Buddha said, samsara is dukkha. And then they asked him, why samsara is dukkha? He said, because of desire. This is a nice story I was reading the other day. A poor man, he used to go and feed animals. One day, when he was going, he found a stone lion, a lion made of stone. So he's an innocent man. So he went and started to feed that lion. He tried to feed that lion. The lion laughed. And that lion told him, you are a very good guy, you're feeding. He said, if you come from my mouth, you will be able to take gold. So tomorrow, one day, you will get gold from my mouth. Come and take as much gold as you want. So the poor man was very happy. He went there, he started taking out all the gold. So he was greedy. He told the lion, okay, next day also, the lion had agreed, take some more gold. He went into the mouth of the lion and took. He was still greedy. He told the lion, I want some more gold. The lion said, okay. So he was so greedy, he went into the lion's mouth to take more gold. But every time when the sun sets, the mouth used to close. And this evening, he was busy taking the gold. The sun set, the mouth closed. He got caught inside the lion's mouth. And he died. So, my dear friends, these are all stories to tell us. The 7th monster is called selfishness. What is the monster? Selfishness. We become visible because we think only of ourselves. We are not thinking of others. And this selfishness is a big sin. Today, why are we talking of these 7 monsters? Anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, and selfishness. Because these 7 deadly monsters are caused by one ego. The cause of these 7 monsters is one ego. I call them the 7 deadly sins. What are the 7 deadly sins? These are 7 monsters. They destroy us. Anger can kill. Anger can easily kill. Hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, selfishness. Very dangerous, my dear friends. Therefore, we must try to eliminate the cause. What is the cause of these 7 sins? It's one big dragon. Remember, the dragon is called the ego. In fact, it's not the ego, it's the false ego. The false ego is the dragon. And the dragon creates these 7 monsters. If the ego is enlightened, we can be free. That is our discussion today. I will spend another few minutes explaining this to you, and then you can ask me questions. But I don't think we have gone into depth of this. Have we gone into depth of the ego and 7 monsters? First time we are talking. So from tomorrow, we are going to change even the Instagram model to make it interesting like Zoom. Otherwise, people are saying Instagram, we want it to be made more interesting like Zoom. So, okay, from tomorrow, we will change the format of 7 p.m. Instagram. But when it comes to the false ego, it creates these monsters. The day I wrote one song, I don't know how many of you pay attention to my songs. In the song, I was telling myself, the song comes from SIP. I was telling myself, अनुभूति हो अनुभूति देखने में जो है वो नहीं है सच में शक्ति हो देखने में जो इंसान सच में तो वो भगवान देखने में जो इंसान सच में तो वो भगवान इंसान शक्ति हो वो तो कोई और ना जो दिखता है एहसास हो गया ये वो तो कोई और ना जो दिखता है एहसास हो गया ये. Have you heard the song? In this song, very interesting song. What do I say? Pay attention to this, my dear friends. Beautiful song. What does the song say? नफरत ना बदलाना इंसान तो भगवान है उनसे ये क्या जलन ना बदलाना सच में तो इंसान ही भगवान है oh बदलाना. If you remember, इंसान भगवान है. How can you get upset at इंसान? Many of you get upset at people. Many of you are getting so angry at people. People like catching them and chewing them like bubble gum. But you just think, वो तो कोई और है ना दिखता जो. वो तो कोई और है ना दिखता जो एहसास हो गया ये. Get that अनुभूति. So the song says, अनुभूति oh अनुभूति. Anubhuti is very, very important, my dear friends. Anubhuti. What is the false ego? And how can it be enlightened? This false ego that's causing anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, selfishness. What is this false ego? That's the first question. And second question, how can this false ego be enlightened? This is our challenge. The false ego, what does it think? The false ego thinks, I am I. I am not I. When you realize I am not I, it does not realize. And because this false ego thinks it is I, it creates all these anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, selfishness. We have to be able to get that anubhuti. Anubhuti means the false ego is dissolved. We are awakened. And then the moment we are awakened, we are free from these 7 monsters. My dear friends, you know how much we suffer? Have you ever think about it, how much you have suffered of anger? Today also I burst. Somebody made me burst. Somebody put time bomb inside me. Today somebody came and put a time bomb inside me. So for 5 seconds, what happened? Boom! 5 seconds. Then I was calm because I have no ego to get angry. But for 5 seconds, I had time bomb. When the false ego is awakened, no time bomb. If you want to also, you cannot. So, my dear friends, that is today's discussion. The ego is the identity, I, me, mine. You think, I am Rajesh. Shayad Rajesh is just joining the call. I am Rajesh. But in reality, I am not Rajesh. My name is Rajesh. We think I am this body, but this body came later. We came earlier. We think I am the mind. Where is the mind? As long as the ego exists, we think I, me, mine. We suffer. We suffer. Go on suffering. And what is the ego? Ego is product of ignorance. The ego is a product of ignorance. The false ego suffers the 7 deadly monsters. I call them monsters. Deadly sins, I call them monsters. And this one ego can destroy our life. That's why I called it a dragon. The ego, I call it a dragon. What must you do? You must change your life. How did I change my life? I said, Prabhu ko jo pata, खुद को खोता है, खुद ही को छोड़ा जो प्रभु पाता है. मैं क्या हूँ कुछ भी नहीं, सब कुछ प्रभु है, प्रभु बिन तो कुछ भी ना है, सब ये प्रभु है, सब कुछ तो प्रभु की लीला है. What is the truth, my dear friends? What is the truth? The song tells us, अविद्या के कारण अहंकार से जीता है, इंसान को माया में जीता है, सब कुछ है मिथ्या, सत्य क्यों लगता है, अहंकार को सत्य सब लगता है, अहंकार ये झूठा, प्रभु सच्चा है. Have you heard the song? अहंकार ये झूठा, प्रभु सच्चा. When you come to the realization, I am not I. When you come to the realization, I will never die. When you come to the realization, Jagat Mithya, Brahman Satya, then you are able to enlighten the ego. The problem, when we go on a quest, you have to find out, who am I? Then we realize, I am not I. Then we realize, I am not the body, I am not the mind. Therefore, who is this I if I'm not the body and mind? But I exist. Who? Then the light will shine. Ah! But the light can only shine in consciousness. Some people, they just love to be in mind state. And when some people who love to be in mind state, you know what? They suffer. As soon as somebody comes to me, I immediately I say, mind state means I go one step back. So many people come, they come to me, they come and they do, what must I do? Should I also react back? Somebody come and do, I say, okay. Huh? Immediately I tell myself, मन बड़ा है चोर, इसका चैन चुराता है. But that person doesn't realize. But immediately, one who's in consciousness can immediately make out who is coming and who is in front of you. It doesn't take much time to see whether it is the divine or the devil. It takes only seconds to make out whether the person coming in front of you is one in mind or consciousness. One who's coming in front of you is coming with me, mind and ego, me, or divine energy. It only takes seconds if you are in consciousness. And yesterday night, I was having a conversation. Somebody was telling me, oh, I'm feeling so disturbed last night, saying how to deal with this problem. What is the problem? The problem is only ME, mind and ego, me. If we only realize the problem is the mind and ego, me, we will be free. But if we don't realize we are the mind and ego, me, finished. Then we are going to suffer. So this is what I don't teach you all something new every day. It is the same thing. But when are we going to implement these same things in our life? We have to implement. And if we don't implement, we will suffer. So my dear friends, as long as the ego stands tall like a wall, we are sure to suffer and fall. But the moment the ego has a fall, we will realize the divine in one and all. This is our challenge. Can we realize? But somebody asked me yesterday, how can I find divine in this shaitan? Huh? The people who are big shaitan, how I can find divine in them? That is us being in consciousness. If we are in consciousness, then we will not see the shaitan. We will see the divine Bhagwan. My dear friends, I always tell you all this story of the 6-inch elephant and the 12-inch horse, both made of mud. 6-inch elephant is fighting with the 12-inch horse. Hey, Ghoda, you know, I am Hathi. And the Ghoda said, hey, look how chota you are. You are such a chota, small fellow, man. You are 6 inches. I am 12 inches. Huh? The Ghoda is telling I am 12 inches. The Hathi is telling I am elephant. You are a horse, man. What? So I wrote this song. What song I wrote? कहानी दो पुतलों की, एक हाथी एक घोड़ा, मिट्टी के दोनों बने पर लड़ाई कौन बड़ा. हाथी कहे मैं बड़ा, घोड़ा कहे मैं बड़ा, पानी में डाला मिट्टी है दोनों, फर्क नहीं थोड़ा. What's the difference? Huh? What is the difference between Ghoda and Hathi? My dear friends, today there is war. Russia and Ukraine. No end to the war. There is a war in Israel, in Gaza. No end. Why? Have you thought? Have you ever thought? देश विदेश में होता क्यों है लड़ाई और झगड़ा. एक चाहता है दिखाए वो दूसरे से है बड़ा. लालच से सब है जीते पर स्वार्थ से क्या मिलता. मकसद एक ही दुनिया में प्रभु को हमें है पाना. सच तो ये है कोई अलग नहीं, सब है एक आत्मा. परमात्मा सब में प्रकट है, सब है परमात्मा. If you enlighten the ego, if you realize everybody is God, will you take a gun and kill? Will you take a sword and chop somebody? You do it only because of ignorance. You don't realize. When we realize we are not body, mind, ego, we are divine soul, ego is dissolved. We are the unique spark of unique life. We realize everybody is soul. We become free from all suffering. We realize that soul, S-O-U-L, is SIP, the supreme immortal power. Blicko's favorite book, ISIS. Whenever you tell Blicko, he'll come and say, Fellowship is only in ISIS. Huh? I am SIP. SIP is ISIS. I am the soul, soul is SIP. I am SIP, SIP is in all. ISIS. Immediately suffering flips over to bliss. Hate turns to love. Revenge becomes forgiveness. When are we going to reach this state of ISIS? When we realize that the ego, the false ego, becomes the enlightened ego. What happens with the enlightened ego, my dear friends? You know it. You know the name of the enlightened ego? How many of you know the name of enlightened ego? You know? EGO, ego. Enlightened ego, how do you spell enlightened ego? Enlightened ego is SLS. Enlightened ego is SLS. Sees God in all. Sees SIP in all. Loves SIP in all. Serves SIP in all. Sees SIP in all. Loves SIP in all. Serves SIP in all. So the moment the ego is enlightened, there's no ego, only SLS. SLS. And then you overcome the 7 deadly sins, the 7 monsters. They are overcome. As long as we live in ignorance with the false ego, the dragon, we will keep on suffering. How many of you have heard the story of the dog, the egoistic dog? Have I told you a story of the egoistic dog? Have I told you? Remember, the dog with the ego, he enters a house with 100 mirrors. Everywhere mirrors. The dog sees another. Ah, bow, 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 bow. The other dog in the mirror bows. Ah, bow, bow, bow. Then, bow, 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 bow. 100 dogs in the mirror. All 100 are barking. This is the example. Remember the story of the dog with the ego. And the story how he enters. We are nothing better than this dog. And this world is nothing but mirrors. This world is all Maya. Maya is all showing mirror. And we are getting angry at him and her. I'm getting angry at my father-in-law and my mother-in-law and my daughter-in-law and all in-law, outlaw. By getting affected by in-law, we become outlaw. So this is the problem. How are we going to overcome this dog behavior? Remember this, when the dog is barking, remember, oh, the dog is barking at all the 100 dogs. Or there are no 100 dogs, only mirrors. Only mirrors. Mirrors creating ignorance to the dog. The dog is thinking there are 100 dogs, same dog in all the mirrors. My dear friends, ego must be enlightened. Then we have self-realization. I am not I. We realize we are nothing. We become everything. This is the magic of life. Today you can ask me questions on this subject, right? Today you have two chances to talk to me. And of course, you can ask me any question. And nowadays, when I find you have too many open house, I declare next day no topic. Whenever you have too many questions, I will declare no topic. Then you can ask any question. But today we are talking of the 7 monsters of that one dragon, the ego. Ego is enlightened, SLS. You see Sipinol, you love Sipinol, you serve Sipinol. Some people say, kill the ego. Come on, kill it, annihilate. Some gurus, one guru taught me, annihilate the ego. Then I went to another guru. I told another guru when I was in that Talash phase. I went to another guru. I told Swamiji, I want to annihilate the ego. The Swamiji laughed. The Swamiji laughed. Hey, what? And how can you annihilate ego? Then he explained, because ego is the identity. I. Even if I am not I has to still be there. Therefore, ego will be there till your last breath. You can't annihilate. You can't kill. You can kill the mind. You can kill the mind, but you can't kill the ego. Because when you kill the mind, you still the mind. There's no mind. But ego will still be there. Ego will say, I am not I. So we have to enlighten the ego. Then we realize Advaita. What is Advaita? Advaita means non-duality. We are all one. That's why I always ask you, have you ever seen in my podcast, what's my favorite question I ask people? Have you seen left leg kicking right leg? They say, no, not seen. I ask people, Dekha kabhi right eye is jealous of left eye? Huh? The girl standing on my right is jealous about the girl standing on my left. That I have seen. Huh? This girl jealous, that girl is common. But right eye doesn't get jealous of left eye. Why? Because we know both are one. Therefore, in one of Rumataji's favorite bhajan, what do I say? Rumataji has a favorite bhajan. In Rumataji's favorite bhajan, I say, प्रभु और अपने बीच है पर्दा है जो ये अहंकार प्रभु और अपने बीच है पर्दा है जो ये अहंकार अहंकार को जो छोड़ा अहंकार को जो छोड़ा उसको मिल गया भगवान सांसों की माला में सिमरू मैं सिप का नाम सिप का नाम. My dear friends, how can we live a life of peace and bliss? How can we live a life every moment in Ananda, Satchit Ananda? Such a big challenge. But the challenge is only possible for those people whose ego is enlightened. The moment we realize we are not the separate bodies we appear to be, we find peace. Peace within our body, in our family, in our city, and the whole world. Therefore, we must all work towards making the ego enlightened. Then peace you will find. Because that 7 monsters will disappear. Anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, selfishness. They will disappear. Because the dragon that causes is enlightened. The world has to learn this. When will the world? Very difficult for full world. But some people, imagine if Putin, Zelensky, they get enlightened with the ego, the life will change. So many people will benefit. So, my dear friends, to summarize, we all suffer 7 monsters: anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, selfishness, all caused by one dragon, false ego. If ego is enlightened, we will be free. This is the way to peace, and it's also the way to God realization. If you have questions on the ego and these monsters, please ask me. Next week, I'm going to talk about my September book. Every few weeks, I have to give you my new book. What book to write? Anybody has a suggestion? What book to write? I have 3 options. 1, twin karma. What is twin karma? 2, how to kill the mind you cannot find. 11 steps. 3, what are the roadblocks to enlightenment? There are 16 roadblocks. So there are 3 possibilities. Whether how to kill the mind, you cannot find, twin karma, and roadblocks. I'm going to go by public opinion, what you're like for the new book to be. So today you have this also to answer me before we get on to the other questions on the ego, on the 7 monsters, the dragon. My dear friends, this is AiR, Atma and Ravi, handing it over to Ask AiR. Payal, Ritika, Jasmine. Payal, Ritika and Jasmine. Yes, Payal.
Pranam Guruji,
Pranam.
Shivoham.
Bolo.
It was a very nice session, Guruji. Thanks for giving that talk.
Thank
My
you.
question to you is, while these are aspects which are important for you to get enlightenment, I want to ask you, every action has pretext, whether it is coming from some of your past karma or a new karma is getting created. Now, my question is, how do you identify that whether you are creating this as a new karma or is it coming from the past karma? Because
it's very simple. You drive a car in Dubai, or you don't drive a car.
I drive,
You
Guruji.
drive. Suppose you drive out of the. You drive. You are sitting in your car. Okay. You're sitting in your car, and just you're sitting in your car. You're doing nothing. Somebody from the back comes and bangs you. It's your present karma or past karma?
Present karma, I guess.
Because
Oh
you did
no,
nothing.
sorry, it coming from the past.
Because you did nothing. You did not do any karma. You were just
Correct.
sitting in your car, waiting for somebody, your friend, to come to the car. Somebody from behind. You're parked in the right lane. Nothing, no mistake. Somebody from behind came and banged you. So obviously it is not your present karma. But
Correct.
that is your past. But suppose you are driving in Dubai and you are trying to reach the movies in time, movie starting in 4 minutes, and you are trying to cross the signal light, and you cross the signal light to make it for the movie, and the bus bangs you. It's your past karma or present karma?
Present karma.
So that's how you make out.
It's difficult to dissect, Guruji.
No, it's very easy. It's very easy. It's very easy. If your action, if the reaction happening in your life is happening because of an action which you can see is your present, it's your present karma. If it is not a reaction of an action, then it's a past karma. Suppose, okay, let me give you an example.
No, for example, Guruji, like in your daily life scenarios, some of these things are not known to you. Something is happening with you without any karmas also.
Give me an example. Give me an example. I'll give you the answer.
I just don't have something ready-made, but let's say there's a discussion happening in a forum and there are 2 people fighting for something. Something has triggered and there is a fight. Now, would you let go of the fight in that discussion, thinking that it might create a new karma, or is it coming somewhere from the past where you think you have to just shut down because that person is
that fight happening in front of you is not triggered by a past karma, not by a present karma. That fight happening for you is a past karma.
Okay.
If you lose control and you poke your nose in that fight and get a slap, that's present karma.
That's absolutely fine, Guruji. But a normal scenario, I don't have anything right now, but I'm just generally day to day, you get across with so many of these instances in general in life where you don't know whether you have to be shut or you have to speak up, because you gave this example in your talk.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're drinking a lime juice, you don't have to differentiate whether what's in your mouth is actually the lemon or the water, because it has already become lime juice. So you don't have to break your head too much, because the lime juice was caused by a combination of the lemon, the sugar, and the water or the soda.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes if you want to analyze, you can see what is the soda, how to separate the lemon, how to make the. But ultimately, karma merges. 2 karmas merge, past and present. That's why the new book I plan to write is called Twin Karma next month. One of the options of the 3 books.
Okay.
So, Payal, whatever is happening in your life now, now is a result of karma, which is a combination of past and present karma. How does it matter whether it was past or present? How does it matter? Tell me.
It's just the fact that, you don't have to create something new, which might bite you later.
If
That's
you
the
create,
whole question.
if you create, then it becomes a new karma. Then you pay for that again.
Exactly. Yeah, that is why I'm asking this question.
Yeah.
How to eliminate, to lose, karmas which probably are new karmas, which are bad new karmas.
By
That,
realizing your sip, the soul in pile. If you realize your sip, the soul in pile, then there's no karma. You're free from all karma. What an easy way.
yeah, that's that's a difficult way still. All
Okay.
right, Guru. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Jasmine, Sukeshini, Bala, Will, and I saw Ritika. Okay, Jasmine.
Yeah, I love you all. My
Yes,
question
Jasmine.
today, well, I have three questions. The first one is false ego. I want to better understand. So, false ego is when I really believe that I'm Jasmine. That
Correct.
false ego?
The false ego thinks you're Jasmine. It thinks you're this
Okay,
body.
and enlightened
It
ego
thinks,
is when I'm able to. Mhm.
the false ego thinks it's you, your name, your body, your mind, your karma, your relationships, your family, your possessions. All that is your false ego.
Okay, and what is
The,
enlightened ego?
the enlightened ego says, I'm the soul in Jasmine. I'm the soul in Jasmine. Therefore, none of this is my stuff. Nothing is real. Everything is a beautiful projection. I am Sip. I am a manifestation of God. I am divine. I am not a devil. I am a divine. The false ego makes you behave like a monster, like a devil. The enlightened ego makes you behave like you're divine. You're in consciousness. The moment you have a false ego, you don't know who I am. You don't know what is my qualification. You don't know what is my power. You don't know who I am. Who the hell are you to know what I am? Who's this? Who's this one screaming like this? Who? It's the false ego. The false ego screaming. The enlightened ego doesn't want to scream. The enlightened ego sometimes has to use the temper and not lose temper. But the enlightened ego says, I'm nothing. What am I? I am nothing. So this is the difference, Jasmine. I hope you're clear now.
Okay. Yes, I'm very clear. And when you say devil, you mean negative
Devil is the devil.
energy
Devil,
that you can feel on yourself
yeah.
or other people?
The devil is, you know the difference between an angel and a devil, no? An angel comes to
Yes.
you, and an angel is very sweet, and an angel is very, very calm and peaceful. And a devil will come and spit something on your face and spit, spit and go. Then the devil has appeared. Then the devil is gone. It's actually an angel dressed up as a devil. So the enlightened ego becomes the angel. The false ego becomes the devil. Got it?
Okay. And last question. This is about karma. I don't eat meat, but I have a question. Do you receive negative karma for killing animals if it's not for survival? Because, the animals, they can live and die. So is that creating negative karma if you're doing it for sport or just to eat if you don't need it? Mm-hmm.
For sport, just for sport, you want to kill an animal. For example, you just take an arrow and kill an animal like that.
Yeah, I'm just
anybody.
curious for other people who do it. Is it negative karma?
When you are
Mm-hmm.
definitely, if you are creating if you are killing life, if you are killing somebody, then understand the point that if you are taking life, it's a negative karma. No doubt. All right.
Yes. So if you're killing animal, okay. So if you're killing an animal to eat, it's negative
If you kill an animal
Karma
for
you're
eating,
creating for
if you,
yourself. If somebody is eating a steak every day, is it negative karma?
see, if you're killing an animal to eat, it's a negative karma. If you're killing an animal for any reason, it's negative karma. But for the last 30 years, if you're eating meat and you don't even know you're making a mistake, then it's not yet negative karma till you realize that you're doing something wrong. After realizing it's wrong and you still do it, it's definitely negative karma. Suppose you
Okay,
don't,
thank you.
suppose nobody ever told somebody, a child started eating food when a meat, he was 4 years old and he was 60 years old.
Mhm.
Nobody told him it's bad, it's a negative karma. At 60, somebody made him understand, don't kill and eat, it's wrong, don't do it. He still does it. Then it becomes negative karma, no doubt.
Okay. Thank you. Understand.
Okay, good. Who's going next? We've got Sukeshini.
Good evening, sir. Shivoham.
Yes,
Thank
Shivoham.
Thank you very much for today's session, sir. I have two things. So this false ego is also part of mind.
The
Mind.
false ego is not part of mind. See, they're two separate entities.
Mind.
So I am Sukeshini. Who's saying this? The mind is saying or the ego is saying?
Ego.
Ego. Separate. The ego is a separate separate entity.
Okay.
Ego is, so the ego can be enlightened separately. The mind is creating the toxic thoughts. The toxic thoughts will create fear, worry, stress, anxiety, regret, shame, and guilt. The ego creates anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, and selfishness. 7 miseries of the mind, 7 monsters of the ego.
And in pride also, self-respect also comes in pride. Does it come, or it's just self-esteem?
It's ego.
Oh.
Self-respect, self-esteem is all. It is all. What do you call it? Cosmetic ego. It's a cosmetic ego, beautifully disguised. You know, like you put it, like you see bliss color of bliss hair. It's cosmetic color, I think. It's the real color bliss or cosmetic color. You know? So many people put red hair, green hair, blue hair, cosmetic. So the cosmetic ego will say, oh, it's my self-respect. You see, this is my self-esteem. What self-esteem? What self-respect? We are all one. There must be mutual respect, mutual esteem.
And last is, I would like to go with that for the book, How to Kill the Mind.
How to kill the mind.
Yeah.
How to kill the mind which you cannot find. That's what the book. Okay. So we are struggling to. I have to finalize it before 1st of September. So good. You have one. We have one person. Sukeshini is saying mind. Thank you, Sukeshini. Bala,
Thank you, sir.
Prem, Malviya, Santosh, Will, Bliss, Jasmine. Yes.
Pranam, Guruji.
Pranam.
Guruji, I just wanted to ask, if an ignorant person who is much egoistic gives too much of reaction or tries to overrule us, so what should be the reaction or what should be the action of the person who is walking on the path of realization?
So if somebody comes to me, suppose today somebody came to me and they behave like they are much smarter than me and they are much more advanced than me, what will the enlightened ego person do? The enlightened ego person will be peaceful. The enlightened ego will do RDR, respond, don't react. Because the people who are not enlightened, they will spit. The tongue has poison. They will spit poison from the tongue. So what should we, if we are enlightened, what we should do? Should we also spit? If we also spit, then Bala, that we are same like them. No, Bala.
No, but if we don't give reaction, he tries to do the things more. But if we give the reaction, then then the samne wala person keeps quiet.
So ultimately today I had both the cases. Today I had one case where somebody came and did and I just said, okay, goodbye. I had another case. Somebody came and and I said, then the matter got closed.
That only, Guruji. Then because of this, matlab it is for me only. Because of this, I think that I am building the next karma.
I
And
told
because
you,
of,
I just now, I explained to you, I gave 2 examples of today. Example
But-
number 1 and example number 2 I gave you. Again, you're not
Yeah.
asking same question again.
No, I'm not asking the same question, Guruji.
Bala,
But giving the
agar koi,
giving the reaction, giving
agar
reaction with,
koi, agar first somebody comes and they are acting pop like that, first
yeah,
first attitude is just ignore it.
okay,
Just accept it. Think that the shaitan is Bhagwan. Think that the devil is an angel. That's the
Okay.
first aspect. If
Okay.
that goes beyond a point, it goes
Yeah.
beyond a point. Suppose that person is going to take a knife and kill you, then what are you going to do?
Then I have
Then
to
you
oppose.
then you have to act. No? Bala, you can't keep quiet. No?
Yeah.
हाँ,
Thank you.
हो गया?
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji.
प्रेम Malviya. Yes.
नमस्ते गुरुजी।
नमस्ते प्रेम, बोलो।
गुरुजी, मुझे आपसे खुशी के बारे में कुछ पूछना है।
कुछ आप पहली बार आ रहे हैं कॉल पे या पहले आए हैं?
मैंने पहले भी ज्वाइन किया है।
But question first time you are asking.
यस।
हाँ, पूछिए, बोलो प्रेम। What's your question on खुशी?
पिछले 1-2 सालों से मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या हो रहा है, पर मेरे पास सब कुछ है जो मेरे पास होना चाहिए इस समय, पर मैं खुश नहीं हूँ। एंड आई एम नॉट डायग्नोस्टेड विथ, मतलब मैं समझ ही नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि मैं खुश क्यों नहीं हूँ।
You are, how many days have you attended this call?
Maybe 1 week.
Attend another 1 month and you will stop telling मैं खुश नहीं हूँ. And do you attend 7 p.m. we have got Instagram, AiR Happiness Secret. Have you ever joined the channel?
No, I have not joined it.
It's called AiR Happiness Secret. आप हिंदी तो बोलते हैं ना?
Yes.
हिंदी में एक ब्यूटीफुल सॉन्ग है. सॉन्ग ऐसा है, मैं खुश हूँ, मैं खुश हूँ, मैं खुश हूँ, जो ये सदा कहे कि मैं खुश हूँ, जो सदा खुश है उम्मीद न रहे कुछ, दुखी वो ना। What must you start singing from today onwards? What must you start singing the song? मैं खुश हूँ, मैं खुश हूँ. My dear Prem, don't try to become happy. You cannot become happy. You have got to be happy. Happiness is a state of being. Many people are trying to become happy. अगर मुझे ये लड़की मिलेगी ना, ये मुझे गर्लफ्रेंड मिलेगी ना, तो मैं खुश रहूंगा. आपके पास गर्लफ्रेंड है, गर्लफ्रेंड नहीं है?
नहीं है।
और किसी ने दिल तोड़ के चले गए, वो भी नहीं हुआ?
नहीं, कभी नहीं लगा।
तो फिर आपका, जब मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड मेरा दिल तोड़ के चली गई, तो मुझे क्या करना है फिर? कई लोग हैं, अगर वो गर्लफ्रेंड दिल तोड़ के चले गई, वो बियर ले लेंगे, सिगरेट ले लेंगे, करेक्ट? वो लड़की में दिल तोड़ के चलेगी, मैंने एप्पल जूस पिया, मैंने बोला एक ढूंढो मिलते हैं हजारों, हुस्न वाले कम नहीं, लाखों है गुलाब गुलसिता में, तुम ना हो तो कम नहीं, तू क्या है जवां है हंसी है, तो क्या है तू समझी तू खुदा है. So you have to turn from unhappiness. You must flip over. आपको कहीं जाना नहीं. You have to flip from sad to glad. और बहुत इजी. अगर आप ये कॉल ज्वाइन करेंगे, अगर आप हैप्पीनेस सीक्रेट अटेंड करेंगे, विद इन 1 month you will be laughing and you will tell me मैं खुश हूं. Are you taking a challenge?
Yes.
बट डेली आना है कॉल में.
ओके सर।
और डेली मुझसे बात करना है.
जी।
अगर करेंगे, गारंटी. आपका उम्र क्या है? Can I ask you what, how old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
17. You will be happiest guy, provided you talk to me every day.
Okay. I'll do.
Okay, Prem. Thank you, Prem. How did
Thank
you get this? How did you get this number? किसने बताया नंबर इसके बारे में?
I bought the book Stop It Stupid.
So that is another good book to read, na? If you are not happy, don't mind me saying, Prem, then you're stupid. Happiness is a choice. आज से बोलो मैं खुश हूँ, इतना तो याद करेगा ना. आपको
Yes,
क्या बोलना है? मैं खुश
मैं खुश
हूँ,
हूँ.
मैं खुश हूँ, ऐसे ही कहो. कुछ नहीं चाहिए. अब जिसको भी मिलता है ना अभी से इस कॉल के बाद, पागल लोग समझते, पीपल मस्ट थिंक आप पागल हो गए. जिसके whoever you meet from now onwards, just go and say मैं खुश हूँ, मैं खुश हूँ. If you WhatsApp me, my number is on the book. I will send you the song. I will send you the song by WhatsApp. My number is on the back of the book. Thank you, Bliss.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bliss.
Hi, Shram dear, Shram, everyone. Love you all. I would like to
Yes.
know. I would like to know something. You say everyone is the same. We are all the same, and someone behind me, it's me also, because we are all sick. So where is the limit we have to accept from other? Because when their behavior don't according to us and value and everything, what we have to do to, we cannot accept everything because something
just now I gave example. Today I have two example. One time somebody came to me and do push, 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 push. I ignore it. One time somebody came and do push, 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 push. So that is the difference. I made you understand. At a particular point, you should not burst until a particular point. But the problem is, there was a man. He went to Paris. And when he went to Paris, he was very hungry. And he went to another one shop and he said, I want baguette. I want baguette. They said, no baguette. I want baguette. No baguette. I want baguette. No baguette. He died. He didn't eat food. But somebody told him, you fool, you could eat croissant. You could eat bread and croissant and baguette, all same. But if you don't want croissant and you don't want bread and you only want baguette, then you will die. You will have not sometime in the supermarket, no baguette, only bread. What to do? Eat it.
You take what they have.
Because the point is, in life, everything is the same. Baguette and bread and croissant, all same. Eat it.
Yes.
So everybody is the same. Why we get angry? Why we hate? Why revenge? Why jealousy? Why unhappy? Why this dragon? What is the use? Ultimately, we want to be peaceful. We don't want unhappiness. What is the use?
So we have to manage what happened there and what happened in front of us.
Just be in consciousness. That's all. Bliss, Jasmine and Will. Jasmine and Will. You know the answer. You're a smart girl. You've been following me from 10 years. Jasmine and Will. Jasmine,
Yes.
are you there? Yes,
Yes, I'm here. So I have one more question. When you run across someone who is appearing as the devil, they have negative energy, you should just respond with positivity, not negativity.
See, as I just explained to you, there are two types of devils. One devil that is a harmless devil. When you get a harmless devil in front of you, then you treat the harmless devil like an angel. You just let
Can
the
you give me an
harmless
example? What's a
they just come and they just get upset at you and they talk some nonsense at you and they don't have their self-control and you don't react.
Okay.
But suppose somebody has come in and they've taken a cup of tea and thrown it on your face, and now they're going to take the next cup of coffee and throw it on your head. Then you catch their hand and say, "Stop it."
Okay.
So there is some limit you can control and some limit you don't need to control. You need to stop it.
Okay. Thank you. In the book I want to read is How to Kill the Mind.
How to kill them. You also want the book, How to Kill the Mind.
Yes.
How to kill the mind you cannot find. Okay, good. But I'm still not, I don't know, all these books we are going to write, but which book I should write, in September is my question mark. So how to kill the mind? What are the, we have got the 11-step method, is it? So then I have to study a little bit more. What comes on the Zoom call sometimes takes some time to germinate and to get produced. Let's see. Thank you, Jasmine. Will.
Thank you.
Esther Will.
Shivohang Sip, I have two questions. Firstly, I wonder if you've heard this idea that everything arises out of consciousness. That's the first idea. It seems to be not what you say. You say that everything is a manifestation of SIP. But sometimes people say that everything arises out of consciousness.
Can you explain to me? Can you explain to me what is the meaning of everything arises out of consciousness? What is the meaning?
The world, or everything in the world arises out of consciousness.
No, you explain to me how.
Well, it's not possible. To me, it's not.
So,
the point is that consciousness arises out is a manifestation of SIP. So that's what you're saying.
consciousness is vibrating from the soul. The soul is a spark of unique light. The soul is energy. Everything is arising out of energy. This is scientific. This is not what Mr. AiR, Atma and Ravi is telling you. This is scientific. That if you get energy, if you take gasoline creates energy. Take wood from a tree, the wood can create energy. Coal can create energy. This is a scientific truth.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why people say that, but I think partly people they have their own words and they use things and
because people just listen to people and follow. Suppose all of you just listen to me and go and parrot the same thing to others. It's no use if you just parrot it. If you understand it and you tell people, it's very good. If you just copy what I'm saying and tell somebody, it's no use.
Yeah. Okay.
Next.
The second question is this word samadhi, which it's really a Pali word. I'm not sure if it's Sanskrit, but it's the word that Buddha used, and it seems to me in some ways more useful than you use this word consciousness. And in the West, they use this word meditation, where I don't know if you would agree with me, but the word samadhi is a very good word if you know what the meaning is. Buddha defined it in a certain way, because the definition is very clear.
Do you know what is samadhi?
I do, yeah.
What is it?
Well, samadhi has got various factors, but one of it is one-pointedness of mind. The mind is undistracted. It's also in a pure state. There's no defilement in the mind. So,
my dear Will, can I explain something today to you which is important for your understanding? Can I please explain to you?
Sure.
The word samadhi comes from a series of steps. If you can go and study, you will find these. It's called yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. The word samadhi comes only after dharana and dhyana. The word samadhi is a state of deep meditation. The word samadhi does not mean consciousness. It is a different type of consciousness. Samadhi consciousness and the consciousness you and me are talking about are the same thing, but are different ways of being in consciousness. Samadhi is also consciousness. But in the consciousness on this Zoom call, this is not samadhi. When you and me are talking on the Zoom call, this is not samadhi, but this is consciousness.
Well, I think according to the Buddha that you are in samadhi. The Buddha would say that you, Atman and Ravi, are definitely in samadhi.
Actually, let me just quickly tell you what it means. I am in a state of consciousness which is same state of samadhi.
Yeah. Well,
are you getting what I'm saying?
You're in a high state, but other people can attain samadhi for periods of time. Under certain circumstances, they can attain a level of peace and stability of mind.
That was how the Buddha did it. That was sitting under the tree and meditating and being completely renounce the world and being quiet and then eating less and then not being completely in a meditative mode. You reach that state of consciousness called samadhi. Yes. But if you are in an educative state like this, if you are in a devotee state, like having prayers, then that samadhi is a different consciousness. You have the same effect of samadhi. You feel the same consciousness that you feel in samadhi, but samadhi itself means highest form of meditativeness. It means no talking. It means silence. It means no interaction. It means just quietness.
So you're saying it's a very high form of consciousness.
Actually, the high form of meditativeness, which leads to high form of consciousness. The result of samadhi is consciousness.
The result of samadhi is consciousness.
Yeah.
You're saying consciousness is higher than samadhi.
No, consciousness is the result of stilling the mind, killing the mind, of being able to do karma yoga, being able to do bhakti yoga. You may be singing Krishna, 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 and reach a state of samadhi. Reach a state of consciousness, which is equal to the same consciousness in samadhi.
Okay, thank you. It's quite a high subject.
But I'll just explain one more before you go, just quickly. Samadhi is a state of highest meditativeness. Please read Patanjali 8 limbs. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. The 8 limbs, you will find it on Google, 8 limbs of yoga. And you will reach the state of samadhi. That's a state of high consciousness. But high consciousness can also come if you are awakened, if you are enlightened, without having to be completely in that silent meditativeness. Thank you, Will, for your lovely questions. And my dear friends, nobody has given us ideas for the book. If you would like to WhatsApp me. But for the moment, I bow down to you with folded hands and look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8.